Solve the following. X cubed. So the first step is to put it in standard form. X cubed minus 1 equals 0 because I moved the 1 to the other side. Now, I could tell you that anytime you have a cubic with only two terms, that they're going to be imaginary. But let's go ahead and just see what it looks like. So I have x cubed minus 1 graph. Notice one of my solutions, second calc intersect, is 1. And the reason why 1's a solution is because 1 to the third is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So 1 is a solution. Okay? So how many solutions am I looking for? 3. Okay? So because I can't see the other two solutions, and imaginary come in pairs, I'm guessing that we have the one real solution, which is 1, and I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula to find the other two, which are imaginary. Okay? So I have x cubed minus 1. We write this as perfect cubes. So something raised to the third power minus something raised to the third power. Then we can use the perfect cubed difference formula. Okay? So is this something to the third power now? It is, right? But I need to write 1 raised to the third power. So how can I change 1 to the third power? Well, let me ask you this. Does this mean the same thing? Yeah. Okay. So that means the same thing, because 1 cubed is 1. So a lot of times in your homework, this will be like 8, and you'll have to change it to 2 to the third, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Right? And so now we had a special formula, and that formula, if I can find it, will tell me how to factor that. And it was, we have the plus 1, and we have the minus 1. So ours is minus, right? So I'm just going to copy down this formula. It's a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. All right, so what is A? A would be X, right? So A is X. Because I have X and I have A. They're in the same spot. That's why. Okay. And then B would be what? Plus 1. Right? And the reason why it's not negative 1 is because the formula has the minus right there. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and replace A with X and B with 1. So I'd get X cubed, right, because A is X, minus 1 cubed, which is what we want to factor, right? So to factor this, that equals, what's A? X minus, what's B? 1. And what's A? X, so it'll be X squared. And then I have to do plus, what's A? X, B is 1. What's 1 times X? Just X, right? Or 1X. No, because A is X, B is 1, should be positive. B squared, B is 1, 1 squared is 1. You may notice that I'll break it down using a special formula right here, which is a solution of X minus 1. What number is 0? It's 1. So X equals 1. That's one of my solutions. And we already know 1 was a solution. We saw it on the graph because 0. Now this will always produce our two imaginary. Okay? And so we have our 2 imaginary plus our 1 real, and our thing is to the 3rd power, so that would give us all of our solutions. Those solutions. Quadratic formula. So what is A? Now B key than before. Okay? A is A is 1. B is 1. And C. And then the formula is negative B plus or minus B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Plugging in, we have negative B. B is 1, so that would make negative 1. B squared, B is 1. 1 squared is 1. A is 1, and C is 1. Divided by 2 times 1, which is 2. Now inside my radical I get 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. Square root of negative 3, that's why it's imaginary, because it's the square root of a negative number. How do I reduce square root of negative 3? Do what? Put the I out front, leaving 3. And 3 doesn't break down any, it's prime, right? So then I get negative 1 plus or minus I square root of 3 over 2. Looking, that's 1, that's 1. There's nothing that goes into 1, 1, and 2 besides 1. So those are my 2 imaginary, it's reduced. But I'm missing 1. What was my other solution? It was the real one, right? The real solution was, we need to list out, we have 3 solutions. And those 3 solutions are, right? And then plus square root of 3 over 2. And then negative 1 plus I square root of 3. Okay, you don't have to list them out as 0. You could have listed them out as that. Okay? I want you to understand, to be a 0, that means the y. Okay? So those are my 3 solutions.